Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Vagabond. Now, there's a few mangas which I think are perfect, which I think are flawless. It's Vagabond, Oyasumi Punpun, and Blue Period. Now, I've already made a video on Blue Period on the channel, so if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and watch it already. What are you doing? But today it's time to talk about the first time I felt a manga was perfect, and that's Vagabond. Vagabond, it means a lot to me, but also doesn't. It means a lot to me because I felt like when I was reading it, it should have impacted my life more. And it means a lot to me because a lot of what I read in Vagabond kind of impacted me much later once I had finished reading it. And Vagabond is genuinely perfect. Vagabond is the benchmark for me for what I consider a perfect manga, right? And I genuinely think it's flawless. So I'm just here to talk about what I like about the manga. If you're here to get like an unbiased review about what is not nice about the manga, I can't tell you what I don't like about it because I like everything about it, right? But let's start off. Let's start off with the first thing which I feel like needs to be brought up, the artwork. I think Takehiko Ino's artwork is so breathtaking. The character designs look great. The brushstroke style illustration is really captivating, and the action, like every panel, every time you see good artwork in Vagabond, it just feels good. It feels so easy to look at. It feels so satisfying to read. And this is from chapter 1. This is from volume 1. I actually have a physical copy of the Vizbig edition. I have volume 1 of Vagabond. The art is good from the start. It does not get better or anything. It's pretty good from the start. It just keeps getting good and I mean, yeah, it does get better. But what I mean is, it's not one of those examples where it starts off bad and then it becomes really good. It is good from the get-go, and I really appreciate that. Like, I know art doesn't matter in manga, but god, it really does make it feel so much more better to read, though. Like, every panel feels alive, every moment feels so impactful, and that's because of Ino's artwork, right? Now let's talk about the storytelling. I think the manga is not about sword fights at all, despite what it seems like on the surface level, right? I mean, I feel like, again, from volume 1, from again this big edition, but like, from the moment you start reading, you realize, oh, this isn't a manga about guy fighting with swords. It really isn't. It's a deep exploration of Musashi's journey, and it a lot of the themes are very heavily tied into self-discovery. There's themes of pursuit of strength. There's a lot of philosophy with the meaning of life. How, like, the thirst for ambition. It's genuinely a philosophical masterpiece. Like, Vagabond touches on so many different aspects. It is genuinely a masterpiece in all regards, especially with the themes it brings in and how many of them and how layered they are. Like, it's incredible. Musashi is obviously an incredible main character. Like, let's not even talk about characters, because there's so many good characters which are genuinely fantastic. I think the character development of Musashi, obviously him being the main character, is the best. It's like the apex of what character development should be in media. It's incredible. How he starts off and how he eventually becomes into this thoughtful warrior. And we have Kojiro. Let's not forget about Kojiro. Kojiro, for a while, so when they started with the Kojiro arc, I didn't realize it would go on for so long. But Kojiro is genuinely another fantastic written character, right? His whole arc is so different from Musashi's, and it's so good. It's so good, right? And it's genuinely like, I'm just talking about the main characters, right? I mean, Kojiro and Musashi are like the main apex characters of character development, but every character in this, even Kojiro's father for that matter, and a lot of characters, like, their character development is so incredible. And the manga is quite long. It's not like it's short or anything, but like, the amount of character development which these characters go through is incredible. And honestly, it's peak writing. I'm not gonna lie. I know peak is thrown around a lot, but Vagabond is genuinely peak from every aspect. And then the fights. I mean, here's the thing, right? I feel like if it was all philosophy, maybe the manga wouldn't be as famous. So you have like your fight sequences as well. And that is, the fight sequences are incredible in Vagabond. Every duel feels intense. My personal favorite, which Okay, I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I think Musashi cutting down the 100 men is quite spectacular, but I would say something which I think is underrated, which I really like. I think it's versus, is it Baiken, the chain guy? I think that fight is really underrated. I think that whole arc, it's not even an arc, it's like a mini sequence before like an actual arc begins, I believe. I think that whole part is so underrated. I think the fights are incredible. Him versus I forget his name, but bald man at the very start of the manga, that is incredible. Him versus the two brothers is incredible. Uh, Even Kojiro's fights are like, every fight means a lot. Every fight looks fantastic, and I cannot explain to you how important that is in a manga like this. I guarantee you, if those fights were not as good as they were, Vagabond would not be as famous as it is. Vagabond is considered one of the greatest mangas of all time, rightfully so. And I don't think that would happen if it was just philosophical. And honestly, the atmosphere, I think Vagabond really takes its time. You know, it takes its time to be slow as well, and I appreciate that. The story is not always rushing, and that's what I oh sorry and that's what I mean to say. It's not, it has a good balance. It's about the action and the intense moments, but it's also about the slower moments. And I think that balance which it strikes is so rare to do. So it's so hard to do, honestly. And the fact that Eno is able to do it so effortlessly, or at least it seems effortless to us, God knows what he had to go through, but it genuinely is so perfect in its balance. And so, okay, there are some things I don't like about it, right? But they're so minute that they're not worth telling. Like, if I had to give a rating, I would say this is a 10 out of 10 manga. But like, things I don't like are so minute that it doesn't make like a point less. So unfortunately, I'm sure everyone knows this, but Vagabond is on an indefinite hiatus, right? Like, it's heartbreaking that we'll never get to see the end, but I think Musashi's character reached a point in the story where, even though the story will never continue, we know this, it might never ever continue, like Vagabond is done. I think it works. Like, it didn't, at least it didn't end off in a cliffhanger, it didn't end off in a point where if something was about to happen but it just stopped. It reaches a point where you're like, yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it ending here because it really doesn't need anymore. And that's, I think, a testament to how great it really is, because you really don't need more when you already have done such a good job of building it up. And I think that's incredible. That honestly is, it's fantastic. And the other thing which I would say is like, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people complain about the farming arc, right? And I agree, it is slow. I know the farming arc is slow, and it's quite a breather from, what I would argue, flawless run of chapters. I think the farming arc starts like around 150 or something. I forget how many chapters are there in total. But like, up until that point, Vagabond is literally flawless. And I would argue it is, I would say, and see, farming arc is very weird because people are either talking about how slow and boring it is, or they're like, oh my god, that's my favorite arc. Now, I don't like either of these kind of people. If you're saying the farming arc is your favorite arc, I'm like, okay, you like philosophical stuff too much. And if you're saying the farming arc is the worst arc, I'm like, okay, you are a kid, you like shonen too much, you like watching a lot of fights too much. I'm somewhat in the middle. I do think it did become very slow. I agree with most of the complaints. I think it really slowed down the story. But here's the thing, the worst arc, according to me, in Vagabond is the farming arc. And even then, the farming arc is one of the best arcs I have ever read in manga. I don't think you understand. How can a worst arc be one of the best things I've ever read? The farming arc as standalone is incredible. It's genuinely amazing. And I can't believe that I'm even saying this. Like, it is genuinely the worst arc. I do think so. It's the weakest arc. And it's still one of the best things I've ever read. If that doesn't explain to you how amazing Vagabond is, I can't explain it more. Like, that's all I can say. But yeah, I felt like this was a long time coming. I mean, I keep saying that I find 3 mangas flawless, and I've talked about one of them, and that's only recent. Like, Blue Period is the recent addition to my top 3 greatest mangas of all time. But I do think Vagabond is genuinely perfect. There will never be another Vagabond, and I don't want there to be, because it's incredible. But yeah, that's all I had to say about it. I feel good. I feel like I wanted to make this video for a long time, and I'm glad I did sooner than later. So, yeah, hope you guys have a good day. If you haven't read Vagabond, you're missing out. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Bye.